Hey guys, I'm making this video because I rented a rental car recently and they tried to screw me over saying that I damaged the car while I had it, which I most definitely did not do. And I'm making this video to show you how to get out of such a thing so that you don't get screwed over by these big companies. They try to screw over little people all the time. But after watching this video, you won't be one of those people. You just do what I say and they'll drop the case on you just like they did me. If you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and like and subscribe for me. I would really appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and get into what you got to do here. So I rented the rental car, had it for a couple weeks. I'm not going to say like which company it was. It started with an E though, and I definitely didn't get a prize or anything, as their name might suggest. Whatever, you can put that together if you want. But if you're smart enough, you probably are. Anyway, rented this car. I bring it back. I have it for about 2 weeks. Didn't want to rent it at all, but long story short, I hit a raccoon in my car, giant ass raccoon, bigger than any raccoon in Kentucky. So I had to go over and get a rental car. Didn't want to, had to. Got it. I drove it for about 3 weeks. Had it for a long time. Number one mistake I made, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there, is if you're gonna rent a rental car, they tell you, oh, walk around it, make sure there's no like dents and scratches. Like, they're freaking stupid about that. You have to, if you want to not get screwed over by them, you have to literally walk around and check it for like tiny ass scratches, because if it has even a tiny scratch, they're going to give you like a $500 bill. So anyway, I know you're not watching the video for that. You just want to know, like right now, you've already had them contact you and say, hey, you damaged this car while you had it, which you didn't do. So I'll tell you my experience on what I did and how I got them to drop the case on me. First off, I pulled in to take the rental car back. The lady walks around the car, and I'm thinking like I'm just trying to turn it in and go back to work. But she walks around and looks at the car, and she's like, "You see that scratch right there? You turned it in with the scratch. It wasn't on there when you got it." And I looked and like stared at the car, and I got down on like my hands and knees, and I'm like, "What scratch? I don't see that." And she's like, "Yeah, it's right there. It's like a scratch and a dent. It definitely wasn't there when you had it, so." And she shoves this big board in my hand, and she's like, "Here you go. Why don't you just sign this and saying you returned it with a dent?" So immediately I'm like, "No, I'm not signing that." And then she gets real bitchy, and she's like, "Oh, well, okay, well, whatever." And she like draws a line, basically signing for me, which I thought was pretty lame. But again, I think even if you sign that thing that maybe they made you sign or whatever, doesn't matter. These things will still, that wasn't the biggest thing that got me off the hook for something I didn't do. So not really off the hook. It's just a big company trying to screw me over, just like they're probably trying to screw you over right now. Anyway, it pissed me off 100%. So I go home. I'm really mad. Like, I didn't sign it. A couple weeks later, I get a bill in the mail, $300. Not the end of the world, but they're like, hey, this is for the dent that you put in the rental car while you had it. All right, so maybe you got one of those bills. First thing I did, this is like your number one thing. You look up the rental car, the location that you rent it from on Google, and leave a terrible, terrible review there. Like, let them know like that you definitely didn't do anything to their car, that they're scam artists, that they're screwing people over. Like, be like real, like, I don't know, don't be nice at all. Like, I told them, like, scam artists, stay away, don't go here, like, don't use them, like, stay away from them. They're terrible. Leave us just a mega bad review. After I did that, I got a reply that said, hey, we'd like to work this out for you. Why don't you email me? And I emailed them. Sent them a big, long letter about how I didn't do anything, and they responded with a real generic, like, oh, we'll work on that. So then I replied again to the Google review I left, and I was like, yeah, they're not helping me. They're just giving me the runaround. Then they replied again. They're like, please, actually call me back, email me back. So I email them back, and this time, they're like, kind of giving me a runaround. They're giving me like 3 different emails. So I make this gigantic email and send it to all of them. And it says basically like, hey, what you want to do is highlight everything they did wrong. You want to reiterate every time, I most definitely did not do that dent, make that dent in the rental car. or damage that rental car or whatever the case is. I didn't cause the damage to it. It didn't happen while I had it. Like, I'm not responsible for it 100%. I know for fact I didn't do it. At the end, like, you want to highlight yourself if you have anything like going on good in your life. For me, like, I put at the end that, I'm a U.S. Marine. I work for, I've worked for the government my whole life. I've, never been to jail. I don't know. You just talk about you're a pastor, whatever you do that like sounds good. You put that in the end to just let them know that you're trustworthy. Make shit up. That's not what a trustworthy person does, but whatever, fuck it. They're trying to screw you over, screw them over, or whatever. They're trying to screw you over, so do whatever you got to do to get out of it. Doesn't matter. Tell them you're a pastor. Tell them you're whatever. Just let them know like you're a trustworthy good guy. Like myself. So you tell them for sure that you didn't do it. You're for damn sure didn't do it. I told them in my email, I said, hey, if you don't get rid of this, I'm going to make sure no one goes to that store and rents a rental car. I'm going to stand out in front of that store with a sign that says, do not go to this rental car place because they're going to screw you over. They're scam artists. And they're going to deal with you because they don't want to deal with that. You got to be a man of your word, though. If you say you're going to do it and they don't settle with you, go there and run as many people off as you can. Because I was going to go there. I mean, if you run one person off, you cost them like $2,000, like you cost them a shit ton of money, which they deserve because they're assholes. So if you, all of the rental car companies are assholes too, so they're all a bunch of bastards. But anyway, so what you do, you just let them know how pissed off you are. Like, let them know you're not going away anywhere. In your email, be very angry, like just be as mad as you can. But so I just told them, like, sorry, I'm rambling a lot. I don't know. I don't do a lot of videos like this, but. Just let them know all that. Let them know how lame they are. Let them know you're going to stand out there and run off as many customers as you can. Let them know that if they fix the problem for you, that you're going to take down the Google review too. Because I put that in there. And that seemed to the Google review is crucial. Like, I think that's the number one thing because I sent an angry email at the beginning and got no response. But once the Google review got involved, then they do get a response because they know that that's just bad for them. And don't think that you're alone in this too, because after this happened to me, they tried to screw me over. I looked up on the Better Business Bureau, and there's thousands of people complaining about the same thing I'm complaining about. So it's not like I'm the first guy that they tried to say damaged their car, because I definitely didn't, and you're not the first guy either. But if you do what I said, it'll go away. It went away for me. The whole thing about these asshole companies is standing up to them. So I don't know. I guess that's about it. I think that's all I did. Yeah. No, you know what? That is all I did. But there's another couple things you can do for safety too. I did do a few other things. I also, because when you rent a rental car, you sign the thing authorizing them to charge your credit card and all that stuff. So one of the other things I did is I emailed them and said, hey, I do not authorize you to use my card anymore. And of course they responded and were like, hey, you already authorized that. And I said, yeah, cool, but now I don't. And they kind of brushed that off, but I sent it anyway. It gives me a record, so if they charge me anymore, that I have something. I also called my credit card company and told them that any more charges from this rental car company is fraudulent. Do not allow it to come through. So that if they did try to charge me for that damage, because they will charge your card whether you want them or not, because you authorized it. You didn't authorize them to scam you, but they're gonna fuck you over and say you did. So what you got to do, call your credit card company, and then it didn't go this far with me, but hopefully if you call your credit card company and tell them to do that, then even if they do try to charge you, your credit card company will shut it down, and that'll be the end of it. I mean, what are they going to do? They don't get to charge your card, and you're not going to pay them, so fuck them, right? And then go suck themselves off, fuck them. Anyway, I think that's about it. I really appreciate you watching the video. If you've made it this far in the video, which is unlikely, probably the 4 people that'll watch it, I hope a lot of you guys watch it, because I hope it helps people. Just because I hate seeing people get screwed over. But, I mean, if it helps one person, because whenever I had this problem, I looked up online what to do, and there was no advice whatsoever on what to do. So that's why I felt kind of compelled to make this video, because if you're screwed over, you can watch this and it can help you. Which apparently the Better Business Bureau says a lot of people get screwed over this way by rental car companies. So I don't know. Hopefully it helps. But if you made it this far in the video, what I was going to say is, again, I would like you to like and subscribe. Hopefully I can have some more videos that could you may like or be able to use. I don't know. But I would really like to help everybody out as much as I can. I really appreciate you watching.